Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia,
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Someone in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to share the inheritance with me." He replied to him, "Friend, who appointed me as your judge and arbitrator?" Then he said to the crowd, "Take care to guard against all greed. For though one may be rich, one's life does not consist of possessions." Then he told them a parable. There was a rich man whose land produced a bountiful harvest. He asked himself, "What shall I do? For I do not have space to store my harvests." And he said, "This is what I shall do. I shall tear down my barns and build larger ones. There I shall store all my grain and other goods. And I shall say to myself, now, as for you, you have so many good things stored up for many years. Rest, eat, drink, be merry." But God said to him, "You fool, this night your life will be demanded of you, and the things you have prepared, to whom will they belong? Thus will it be for all who store up treasure for themselves, but are not rich in what matters to God." The Gospel of the Lord.
Dear brothers and sisters, today's parable is entitled as a rich fool. Now, this parable comes to us as a response of Jesus to a brother who wants Jesus to divide their ancestral inheritance. Just keep aside the title of the parable and let's make a quick overview of the parable, which is often forgotten or we do not look. First thing, a rich man was already blessed. The second point, rich man was a hard worker. That is why he got a rich harvest. The third point, a rich man was a good manager, which means he wants to build the new things. So what's wrong in that? Now, here comes the problem when he starts talking to himself. We will take this part later. Now, just a quick question. Is it sin to be a wealthy? Why? You got into my trap. No, it's not a sin. Not a sin at all to be wealthy because the Hebrew word hon, which is translated into English as wealthy, it means sufficient or enough. So when Bible speaks about the wealthy person, it means a person who has enough or sufficient means to live. Now, when Jesus tells this parable, he's actually inviting all his listeners, including you and me, to revisit the story of the original sin. And most of the time we look at original sin as one. No, original sin has three foundations. And what are those three foundations? Or what are those three causes for the original sin? And that comes the three P's. Letter P. What is the first P? Power. I want to tear down everything and I want to build the new one. I want to throw down this cell phone. I want to buy the new iPhone 14. He wants to show the power, that how much power I have. So the first P is power. The second P is the possession. I want to keep everything for myself. He wants to enter in his comfort zone, enjoy his all what he has. And he said, no worries, I am retired. And the third one is pleasure. Eat, drink, and be merry. Walk on Salona Beach. No worries. Pleasure. So what are the three? Now, putting together these three, you get the root of that, what rich man was missing was, or what he has actually, was greediness. He was greedy for himself. He wants to keep everything for himself. And now, what actually he was missing, or what is the remedy of three P's? What are the three P's? Yeah, I want to check if you are sleeping. Well, I want to be very sure you are getting my point now. These three P's, what are the remedies? And the remedy of this one is only one. And what is that? Charity. In other words, generosity. When our God bless us, we do not need to raise our standard of living. We need to raise our standard of charity, of giving. And this Holy Father, St. Augustine, he teaches us what is charity look like. And he says, the charity has a hands to help others. Charity has a feet to reach to the poor. Charity has a eyes to see the pain of others. And this is what charity looked like. There was a time when I was studying in Rome, and my grandparents, they sent me a gift to buy a warm jacket, because in Rome, it's really cold. When it's cold, it's really cold. So I wanted to buy a new jacket, so I went to a market. I bought a new jacket. Instead of taking a bus back to the seminary, I decided to walk, to look at all the buildings, faith-enriching buildings. And I said, okay, let me enjoy those buildings. And I was going, and then on the side of a road, I saw a homeless person. It was winter season, and he did not have a jacket. I thought, okay, let me go back to my seminary. I will get my old jacket, and I will give him my old jacket. But there was an inner voice in me. Will you be happy to receive an old jacket, or would you appreciate receiving a new jacket? What would be your answer? A new one. So when I realized this voice, I gave him my jacket, and then I sit with him for a few minutes. I polished my little Italian. I speak with him little Italian, and then I left. After a couple of weeks, a couple invited me for a lunch in their family. After, I don't know what happened to them, why they invited, but they invited. And what moved them, after lunch, they took me to a store. And I don't know why they wanted to go there. I thought like they are buying some stuff for their children. And they took me to a winter collection. And they told me, Father, please buy a jacket for you. This is our gift for you. Wow. Wow, the charity works so fast. And I was so happy with the divine providence. And at the end, I end up receiving 2 jackets. Now, please don't go and give all your jackets, okay? Don't look that one. Now, what is our essence of our Christian vocation? Our essence of Christian vocation or our call is to give, not to collect. Look at the trees. They bear fruit in order to give to others. Look at the rivers. They flow in order to give water to others. Look at the sun. It shines to give light to others. And look at us. We are made on the image of God to give others. St. Augustine once again reminds us, a rich man without charity is a poor, and a poor man with charity is a rich. May Mary, the mother of Jesus, and our mother intercede for us to always avoid the 3 P's. What are the 3 P's? In order to raise the standard of our charity.